Hello. Hello, hello, world.
It's us.
Specifically, this particular chat. Do we have sound?
Can
Are we
you
being
hear me?
heard? Somebody say something in the stream chat.
Oh, bitches.
Oh, can we be heard?
Yay, sound.
Yay, sound.
Good.
Alrighty then. So then I shall say hello, internet friends and webcomic fans. It is your friendly neighborhood dungeon biologist here, welcoming you to another steamy episode of Trash Heroes, the D&D stream where we recount the epic adventures of the wildly improbable collection of horrible creatures known as the Trash Heroes. Our players, as always, are this collection of wonderful internet artists and cartoonists, and you can check out all of their amazing works and their social media related sites on the set of links in the upper right, or if you're joining us after the fact on the VOD, you can see everything down below in the descriptions. There is, of course, a Patreon as well to support the channel. Feel free to join that if you want to. Definitely go and check out everybody's stuff. Support your local artists. And without further ado, I shall introduce the characters. First up, Keeper of the Vermin, Protector of the Trash Heap. It's Fetid Quaggle.
That's me. Hi.
Woo!
Next up, the larger-than-life pit-fighting superstar, Oogna Sugar Tusks.
It's Illithid crashing time.
Next up, the trickster cleric, rogue baker, and all-around party animal that is Tromlin Dariels.
I'm eating sweetheart jelly beans. Also, I'm fairly petrified, so.
That must be a euphemism. Then there is the wild magic streaming sensation that is Morgan V. Sater.
Hi. Let's get this booty.
And finally, our sweet old grandpa, who's also accidentally an ancient warlock, Copernicus Sunshine. Oh no. No sound from the Copernicus.
Hold on, I think
Grandpa.
I was muted
His
on my
voice has
end,
been
not
stolen.
because of sound settings.
Grandpa's having trouble with the technologies.
Saying, Grandpa wrote a porno.
That's a phrase I never want to hear again.
But you will in this
I
game.
know.
Oh, you definitely
Indeed.
will. Definitely not the last.
No.
Let me recap so everybody knows where we are at. So we were actually in the previous battle. The party was in the middle of fighting a bunch of undead fey spirits, while a nearsighted beholder was searching for his contact lens. And at the beginning of the game, Tromlin was helping the beholder get his contact in when the beholder, triggered by the difficulties of getting poked in the eye with this crazy giant, gas permeable, non-soft contact lens, sneezed and set off a series of eye beams that disintegrated one of the Fae and unfortunately petrified Tromlin. You're so like your grandfather. I got you mixed up.
One of us is always hard, one way or the other.
And I can now reveal that, in fact, Tromlin has been conscious all along.
Oh, good.
And is aware of his surroundings.
Great.
Oh boy.
So I will continue the recap, and Randy, this is what happened, which Tromlin is aware of. So Fetid made short work of a few of these fey floating fairy spirit things. Copernicus fought off various psychic attacks, and then Copernicus thunderstepped back into the chamber, and leaving what was left of those fey splattered over the walls. Oogna forced the door shut, cutting off any additional attacks, and the party introduced themselves to Gary the Beholder, who told them he was on the search for a decent dungeon to call home since getting kicked out of his parents' basement.
Oh, buddy.
Poor guy.
Now, meanwhile, Morgan had been swept off to the Feywilds by a wild magic surge, only to be confronted by the Archfey Sherlindria, who warned her that her destiny is wrapped up in the party's quest, which will pit them against a being called the Necrogog, some sort of powerful undead whose armies are assailing the lands of the West. Morgan then encountered the fairy cat, who led her back through the mists to reality, where she rejoined the party. Although I will point out that Morgan has begun to feel ill, the effects of being bitten by the plague rats in the previous adventure, and I have been carefully watching for any skill checks which are done at disadvantage.
It would
You
really.
told us that you were just on the rag, though, so that's what I'm going
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm just having my period, and
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel like,
Not
you know,
great.
the upset tummy, the cramps. That makes more sense, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes more sense than undead rat plague.
Yes.
Yeah.
So with Tromlin in Ugna's backpack, instead of Trey, the owlbear, and with Gary in tow, a number of epic dungeoneering rolls from Fetid allowed the group to stealth their way past many traps and plague zombie monsters, down to the very depths of the catacombs beneath Dwemer. And there they found a huge lake of glowing slime with a small stone island carved into a tower at the center. Copernicus then felt a magical compulsion to cross to the island and flew there, casting a fly spell on the others to follow him. Just as you reached the island, Gary the Beholder was ambushed from beneath at the rear of the party by the slime chul, which is still alive and dwelling in this lake of slime. And at the same time, the dread Illithid made his appearance on the balcony above. An epic combat ensued. Ugna got sent on a bad acid trip, while Morgan and Fetid rained damage down on the Illithid, but it seems to be regenerating from a lot of it. A big mob of intellect devourers came streaming out of the little tower, but Copernicus trapped them with his black tentacles, and Fetid destroyed the ones that survived. Gary was wrestled beneath the water, locked in mortal combat with the Chul, and I have been keeping track of the damage situation there. We ended the session at the end of a round. Copernicus is stuck in his own bad acid trip from the legendary action of the Illithid.
Also,
Ugna has
secret
regained.
stash.
That's
Yeah,
the perfect setup for some kind of horny fever dream involving a
Indeed.
intellect devourer.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Ugna has regained her sense of reality and was thunderstepped onto the roof of the tower by Morgan, and then Ugna did a top rope attack onto the Illithid and has grappled him. Morgan then blasted him with lightning. Morgan is concentrating on a storm sphere, which is still present inside the tower. And Morgan has also gained damage resistance to all forms of damage from a wild magic surge.
Oh, right.
The Illithid then bit Ugna and did a large quantity of necrotic damage, which healed it, and revealed to the party that this is in fact a vampire Illithid.
Great.
What the fuck, dude?
And that is where we ended, getting ready to start a new round. But first, we promised, I've threatened, I don't know, one of these words,
Yeah.
to begin with a dramatic reading of the tale that was dared by the chat the game before last.
And I would like
Peter
to say
would.
that this is canonically what is happening in Copernicus's head as he has his trippy vision. I
Great.
think this is
Good.
exactly what's
Excellent.
happening, which
I
makes
am
it
down with
canon.
that. Exactly. So with that, Peter, would you like to do your dramatic reading
I
of
would love
the
to.
Chuck Tingle-esque tale?
I feel like I
Uh,
should have composed some like super horny porno music to play in the background.
It's
We
just
need
all
to-
bass.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We need
We're
the
all
loop
imagining.
version of fuzz guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So hopefully everybody is ready for this.
I
Here
have
it
been
comes.
working. I've
You
been
can't be
working
ready
on
for
my
this.
scat. I've been working on my scat material. If you're interested, I can just be in the background.
Oh, word.
Scat, bop, boop, bop, bop. Is that the right vibe?
Perfect. That's
Yeah.
exactly the right vibe.
With the porn bass.
Yeah, with porn
At the
bass.
same
Just
time.
scat and porn bass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Google search that.
No. Definitely not.
Go for it, Peter.
All right, this is an intellect devourer. Devoured my butt. It loves a smartass. Copernicus Sunshine stepped inside the ancient library, his big, turgid brain swelling with a hunger that no dusty tome could satisfy. From the shadows, a coquettish tendril beckoned. Blushing, Copernicus tried not to let his excitement show. This was his first time with an intellect devourer. The creature stepped out of the stacks of eldritch books and scrolls. Copernicus looked up at it, taking in its bulging, veiny body, its colossal corpus callosum. I've heard you have a weakness for silver, Copernicus said shyly. Silver foxes. The intellect devourer had no mouth, but Copernicus could tell that it was smiling. Do you mind if she watches? Copernicus held up the silver bucket containing his wife's remains. The devourer nodded, and Copernicus tenderly placed it up on a shelf of forbidden grimoires, kissing it softly on its steely rim. The devourer's advances were gentle, as befits a first time. It lubed its lobes and prepared its probes as Copernicus got comfortable and doffed his robes. The devourer cocked its head as if to ask, "Are you ready? Do you want this?" Copernicus nodded, suddenly aware of the ravenous appetite with which the devourer was watching his head as he moved it. He felt his own deep yearning awakening within him. I'm going to blow your mind, Copernicus said. Literally. He liked big brains, and he could not lie. But when the devourer entered him, it was bigger than even he had anticipated. His cranial cavity thrummed with the pressure of this new presence inside him. Its tendrils began to prod into his every brainy flap and fold. Oh, lich me, Perny began to moan. Lich me right there, just like that. He felt everything, all at once. A vortex in his cortex, tinglies in his meninges, a swellin in his cerebellum, a panglia in his basal ganglia. On the shelf, Barb's bucket began to hum with excitement. The hot glow of her runes intensified Perny's pleasure, and soon it was too much. Static buzzed behind his eyelids, and finally, overcome by ecstasy, Copernicus climaxed. He blew his white-hot lobe. It took him some time to come back to himself, panting and sweating in a heap of gray matter and white spatter with the devourer. Copernicus sighed longingly. It's true what they say, he thought to himself contentedly. It loves a smart ass. Thank you very much.
Oh boy.
All right.
Peter!
So that's what Copernicus has going on in his little fever dream.
And I will remind the audience that they dared this to happen. So I would like you all to just sit for a minute and think about what you've done.
The
Yep.
tinglies in your
Soak in it.
Jeez. Oh, Jesus.
I
Feel
would
free
say-
to check out the story at your leisure on the Patreon.
You
Alina
should.
also drew a cover.
Alina's cover is amazing. It's so amazing.
I think that deserves.
No, we didn't know
Yeah.
we had.
I think that at the very least deserves a tip. Just the tip, okay?
Just
Um,
Yeah.
I don't want to break the illusion, but I'm not actually in a forest.
What?
What? This is a backdrop. It billows lightly. Behind that backdrop is my mother.
It's a good thing you have headphones on.
Whew.
Or did you put that on speaker just for her?
She would appreciate it, I think. She wouldn't understand a lot of it. She's a
I'm not
salacious
sure that-
woman, but she doesn't know D&D, so the references might be a bit lost on her.
I love that she has heard that sentence.
I can feel the presence of her eyeballs rolling into the back of her head,
She's like, what is happening?
and she's
back
very
there?"
lightly chuckling. It was really wonderful to experience that in the presence of my mother.
Mhm.
Thank you.
amazing.
Okay. And with that,
Hi, Raven's mom.
Lena
it's
says
time.
hello.
Hello from the trash hero.
Oh boy.
I forgot
All kinds
that
of
she'd be here for that.
Okay, so we begin at the top of the round. Ugna is currently grappling the Quagulithid, which has also got its like little slurpy tentacles all over Ugna's arm, from which it is draining blood.
Owie.
Morgan is on the roof of the little short, squat, two-story tower. Morgan, you are still concentrating on your storm sphere, which is inside the second floor of the tower, but through the big open window, you can send out your lightning blasts in a certain area. A short distance away from the tower, not within like arm's reach or anything, but nearby, Fetid is riding on the back of the baby owlbear, who is flying, still has a fly spell. Actually, no, it's just stopped flying because the
right.
concentration broke. We already rolled
Boy,
for
did it
that.
ever.
Right, yeah.
Boy, did it ever.
But we're close enough to the ground that there was no significant falling damage. So Trey, the owlbear, is now on all fours with Fetid on his back. A short distance from Fetid, Copernicus is standing and writhing in the air and I guess acting out what we just heard, miming
Moaning
it.
and
Woof.
yeah.
And
It's a long time right now.
also, and standing where he was set at the beginning of the fight is Tromlin in statue form, where Ugna set him down before entering the combat.
Yep. I patted you on your little head and I said, "Stay safe, little buddy," and then I jumped off to go fight this guy.
Gary the Beholder is under the surface of the lake with the slime chul and hasn't been seen in some time, although there's various kind of thrashing movements out there. And that's where we begin with Ugna at the top of the initiative.
Oh boy. I sure don't have a lot of hit points left, but this guy is still biting me. I would like to do some damage to him.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know yet that I can't do damage unless it is magical. So I'm just going to squeeze the stuffing out of this guy.
All sorts of gross foods are going to come out.
Oh yeah.
So what are you attempting to do?
I'm definitely doing an attack action, and I'm going to spend some of my spirited points on it. But I'm trying to figure out. I know we said that there was a wrestling move for submission. It was like try and choke him out, but I haven't worked out that he's a vampire yet either, and he probably doesn't need to breathe.
Well, that would start with you trying to gain control of him, trying to basically
Right,
pin
right.
him.
Yeah.
And that might be not a bad idea because if you have control, he can't continue. You
Bite
can
me.
put his face where you want
Yeah. So let's try and get control of this wrestling move against a very tiny little squiddy man.
it. Okay, so you already have a hold on him.
Yeah.
He has advantage to
Right.
evade. He has the same feat that Fetid does to
Right.
evade large creatures trying to grapple him.
He's small.
So he is going to roll against you. So go ahead and roll your grapple check,
Mm-hmm.
and I will roll his with advantage.
That's not great for me.
Nope. Hang on a second. We just lost somebody.
You lost to
Randy.
Randy.
We have lost a Milholland.
And he's back.
Here he comes
That
back.
is a dirty 20 from me, which is like very low.
He's actually going to beat you here.
Oh man.
He is over 20 with his bonuses.
Ooh. I am going to spend an inspiration, maybe?
Well,
He's got
hang on
advantage,
just a
so it's not
second.
worth it. It's not worth it.
I'm also double checking the feat because I think you might also get disadvantage.
Right.
So I'm just checking it on Fetid's sheet since he has it. I think it just is advantage to escape grapple, period.
Yeah, that's
Gotcha.
all I have written down.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So he's a wily little guy.
But he does succeed. Just pulling up the actual feat description, so I've got it for future reference. Yes, just straight up advantage to escape. No change on the other roll. All right, so you attempt to control where he is facing and what he is able to bite, but he is too small and squirmy and kind of slimy and just generally difficult to control, and it is not working for you. Next up is Morgan.
That's only one of my actions, though, love.
Oh, sorry, right, that counts as an attack action.
That's an attack
Right,
action, so I still get a second one. So I am just going to try and punch him in his stupid little squiddy face. I would like him to go very far away from me.
Do you want to actually like send him flying?
Yes, I want to spend one of my superiority points on do a pushing attack.
Yep, go for it.
Awesome. Pew! So 11 plus 8 will be 19.
That will hit.
Cool. I couldn't remember what his AC was.
Yeah, I was just looking it up. You have definitely exceeded it.
Now that's just my D6 unarmed damage, but then with my superiority dice as well. Because I don't have my hammer out. I was being choked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Honestly, the damage doesn't matter because
No,
he is
it's
not.
six-
You can't
it's 6
actually
hit
hurt
points.
him.
No, but I do
With
fling him
non-magical attack.
15 feet.
But yes, indeed, I believe he gets a saving throw.
Yeah, strength save, or be moved 15 feet in the direction of my choosing.
I'm pretty sure he fails that. What's your DC for that saving throw?
Oh, it doesn't say
I guess
here.
It just counts as your. I think it just counts as. I think you have a standing. Oh yeah, there it is. DC 16
Gotcha.
for all of your stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he fails that. I rolled
Cool.
an 8, and he definitely does not have a +8 strength save.
So he wiggles out of my
he has a good
grasp
one.
and then comes to try and bite me again. I just sock him straight in the face and send him skidding out over the lake.
Well, he won't reach
Or
the lake. So
towards
which
the lake.
direction are you throwing him in? Towards the lake? Towards the
Unless
lake is
there's
towards your friends.
No, away from me, the lake then. Like towards the wall.
Okay, sounds
If I
good.
can push him into the
That'll
wall, that'd be
basically
great.
land him. That will land him right in front of the building, pretty much right next to Copernicus, or where Copernicus had the tentacles before they
Right.
disappeared. Okay,
That is my turn.
next up is Morgan.
I'm going to be doing a Chaos Bolt as well as a bonus action Storm Sphere lightning attack.
Excellent.
But I'm also going to utilize my magic item, which in and out of game is my beautiful Starbucks cup. And I'm going to do a wild magic roll for my rogue energy drink. It's a D4. Let's see. What is the flavor? The flavor is pina colada. Nice. And then let's do the light or chaos bolt first.
Yep. So
That
I
is
believe that's an
a-
attack roll.
Critical failure.
Ooh.
And then the chaos bolt. I will put that dice in jail,
You have
and I
a
will.
full set of. You have a full set of inspirations.
I'll use that. I will put
you
away
can
this
spend one.
dice though. I'll use an inspiration. Switch over to this cute pink dice.
And this is a good time for me to remind the audience that the tracker that you can see next to my wonderful, beautiful face is a tracker of bits. And if you cheer for our team and those bits roll over to 100%, everybody gets an inspiration.
That is a 6 plus 9, 15.
Yes.
15
Crit
to
hit?
hit is not going to cut it.
Damn,
So
okay,
I'm just
okay.
double checking if I've got that right. Where is that AC? Oh, no, 15. You said you got 15?
Yeah.
Sweet.
That is equal to the armor class in question.
Hell yeah. All right. Let's roll these. This is This is the 4d6.
Oh, sorry, I'm wrong. It's a 17.
Damn.
I
Okay.
am bad at math.
All right. We still have my Chaos Bolt, though, which might be the damage type he does not like. That is a 18. For
Sorry, what was the first roll for?
the first roll was for the lightning. It's a bonus.
Oh, the lightning.
Attack.
I
Yeah.
see. I forgot about that.
And-
yeah, so the bonus action missed.
Yeah.
And then the action Chaos Bolts.
Yeah.
18 will hit.
And that is 2d8 plus 1d6.
It's just but roll the 2d8 first so we know if you double up, you get an extra bolt.
Nope, that is a 5 and a 6. So 5 or 6 lightning or poison. It's gonna be lightning, baby.
That is a good choice.
And then that's an extra +3. Oh, wow. All right. So that is 5, 6, and 3.
14 damage.
Yeah.
I got it.
And probably a wild surge happening. Hopefully something that's nice to me.
I'm pulling up my wild magic table again.
Mhm.
Let's see what happens on my percentiles.
And I'll get my energy drink going.
You regain a lowest level expended spell slot.
Oh,
That's a good one.
nice.
So if you've spent a first level spell slot, you get it back. I'm pretty sure you have. Yes, because you've used silvery barbs a couple times, so you get back a first level spell slot.
All right. Let me change that to 2.
Hooray! Nice. That was a good result.
Yeah.
Would have been nice for the lightning, but we'll hit them with the secondary lightning. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have my bonus
right,
round. Sorry about the silvery barbs, lovers.
Yep. No, sorry. That is a reaction. You still have your reaction. You still can use.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
You have used your bonus action and your regular action, but you still have your reaction. Alrighty, it is time for the Quag Illithid, who has managed to evade Ugna's attempts to grapple him, but has been then chucked a distance away. So he is going to be like the little weasel in the Foghorn Leghorn cartoons that he throws away and then just goes zipping back and starts going like a buzzsaw on his leg. So the Quag Illithid throws itself literally on your leg and is gnawing on whatever gaps it can find between the armor.
Get off of there! Get out! I'm trying to stomp
You're
on him.
hopping on one leg and kicking.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, let's see if he hits.
I hope he doesn't, because I have 27 tasty hit points left.
He, I do believe, does not exceed your armor class. What's your armor class again?
Ooh, 17.
He does not.
Ooh, whew.
I have rolled a 7, and he only has a +8 to hit,
Excellent.
so he does not.
Yes.
So he can't
gets
find a
mouthful
gap in
of
the armor. It's just he's just slavering all over your leg plates. He
Yeah.
can't actually get at you.
Rude.
Mm-hmm, that's fine.
He is, however, going to force. I should have done this on someone else's turn, but whatever. There's a turn right before him and right after. He is going to force you to make another saving throw.
Which one?
He's attempting his legendary action on you again.
Oh boy, is this my good wisdom that I'm great at?
No, this is an int save.
Oh, I'm even worse at that. Oh, 19, so 18.
Oh, that's actually.
Really
You
well.
made it.
Wow.
You made it.
Second,
You thought
second
really
big guy,
hard.
guy.
Yeah, I'm too worried about my armor. I'm gonna have to polish this for hours.
Yeah, you're all distracted.
It's gonna get all pitted. And,
Honestly,
You
at this
have
point,
to.
I'm like at the corners of Orcish Rage, and that's why I shrug it off. I'm just like, this fucking guy! Ah!
I mean, you can't blame him for drooling all over your legs. Most of us do.
Yeah, that's fair.
Aww.
It's as high as you can reach. Meg, you're too loud.
Okay. Just keeping track of damage under the water. Continuing stuff going on underwater. And next up is Copernicus. Start of your turn, you may attempt once more to break free.
I am. So what's the save on this again? Int.
Yes, int save.
All right. The big money.
Can he do it?
Yes, 23, 19 on the die.
Nice. That'll do it. You pull yourself. You pull out of your strange fantasy.
Yeah.
It's important to know
As
when
you-
to pull out.
As you are sort of like pulling away from this bizarre, fantastical. Actually, Alina, put up the drawing.
Will do.
So the bizarre, fantastical image of the intellect devourer being a brain on a buff body is fading as you start to realize the reality that's actually happening here and try to extricate yourself from what's going on. And as you do so, the looming form of Dilhotep above, who is observing all of this, does like a no, come back. I was enjoying that.
I will also pull up that guy.
Indeed.
This guy.
Ugh.
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 Hate him even
Okay.
more now.
Yeah, I know.
His pointy hatted pharaoh.
Getting rid of this guy. Go back to the halfling.
And
Yep.
indeed, and the Illithid by Randy. And so at this point, you are coming out of this state, and you sort of regain where you are and what's going on. You are standing on the beach next to the statue of your grandson, or Grand Nugget. And nearby, of course, is the owlbear with Fetid mounted on his back. And you can observe across the beach, Ugna standing over the Illithid that is trying to gnaw through her leg armor.
Yikes.
And the first thing that occurs to you is that maybe you should check in with everybody. You can't see Morgan. You're not sure where she went.
Okay.
And it occurs to you that the DM is going to let you use a bonus action to Perninet and say something in your book just to check on everybody. So you can still do an action, but you can also do that.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'll do a quick scribble as I come to and be like, Grandpa was out for a minute. How are we all doing? Morale check? And I'm wondering if perhaps a conscious but petrified Tromlin is able to reply by thinking.
Indeed, he is.
Ooh.
Nice.
So Tromlin, in your petrified state, you hear the voice in your mind from Copernicus asking for a check-in, and you can, in fact, respond. Oh, I'm not sure if Randy is
He's muted.
handy. He's also.
Hi.
Oh, here we go.
I could be better. I wouldn't mind not being a statue anymore.
I guess the whole group can hear that.
Yep.
So.
Oh, do I hear that?
I don't think Morgan has yet been added to the book, has she?
Oh.
Not
No.
not of my volition.
Yeah. So no, then.
Yeah.
I will
You
yell
kind
to
of
the
have to
group.
consent to it. You can't just be.
I'm
Can't
doing
be
a hell of a
forced.
lot better now that I can hear you, buddy. Are you okay?
Well, I'm watching all y'all have a bad time. Are you okay?
I'm hanging in there, but this fucking guy keeps biting me. He's squirmy.
Yeah. Well. I'd help you if I could.
Yeah.
Can
Hang
I,
on,
Hashtag-
oh, sorry.
Hashtag thoughts and prayers.
Literally, he's a
HOT
cleric.
thoughts.
What were you
Can
going to say?
I do a perception check or an arcana check just to see if there's anything in my surroundings that I can think of that would help depetrify him at this critical juncture.
You already made a check about like what it would take to depetrify him earlier.
Yeah.
And to all that occurred to you is a greater restoration spell, which is not something you currently have access to. I will add to that you have definitely heard of like potions and other types of magic that can depetrify or undo this kind of a spell.
What would a hero point get me if I was gonna try and get Tromlin in this fight? Get our healer right when we're sort of on the back
Ooh.
foot here.
I would say that I'm just double checking.
What about just his top half comes so that he can do spellcasting, but his legs are still stiff? Would you
I
give
mean,
me just the top half?
There's a magical lab real close to us.
That's even funnier.
I could also try to call in my fairy favor on my turn.
Ooh.
They
Oh,
might be able to
actually-
do something about that.
Tromlin, I know Tromlin has I can't remember if it's a physical item from the method that would be a wish from the acid method, but he has some kind of wish that he can ask from the acid method as well.
Yeah, that would have to come from him though.
Okay.
And he can't speak. But I'll tell you what. I'm just double checking who has what going on here.
Oh, one more pitch for you. One more harebrained pitch. What if I animate my own blood, to like somehow bond with Tromlin and become the mobile extension of his body? So I can make a little blood elemental, and if I just like make that his like little finger into the world,
Give him something he can do.
Yeah, can he wreak some havoc through a little blood tendril that I give to him?
I have an idea.
Okay.
If you are willing to spend the hero point, I am going to give Tromlin an out.
Done.
Yay!
All right, but you still have a turn here.
Okay.
This did not take your actions.
This will not take my actions. Okay, so then I'm going to. And you said that the Perny net used up my bonus action, correct?
Correct, but you've got your regular action
Regular action and movement. Okay, so
to do with as you choose.
can I and how far away is Ugna if I want to move and pass her my knife?
Oh, she's not that far away. You could definitely like move within range and toss it to her for sure.
So I think I'll attack first. I'll do a chill touch on the Illithid first, and then I'll run and object interaction her my knife and say like,
Cool.
give him the stab.
Go for it.
All right. So here's my attack. Ooh, not so good on the attack.
AC 17.
Not gonna make it. That's 14.
Okay.
But then I'll run up to Ugna and hand her my knife.
I'm still trying to stomp on this squid boy.
Just rolling for some luck situation here. Yeah, you're okay.
I'm going to stay. I would like to stay not adjacent to him, basically.
You manage not to hit Ugna with that, because
right.
Ugna is in hand-to-hand combat with him.
Right.
Right.
So I randomized that for you, but luckily for you, that did not hit Ugna.
Okay.
But you do toss Ugna. That you don't have to get close enough to be within melee range of the Quagolithid. You can toss it to Ugna.
Sweet.
Yeah, my hands are free. I got no weapon.
Safe.
Yep. Okay. Next up is.
I'm gonna put your hero point back yet because I don't. The effect hasn't happened, so I'll.
No, you go ahead and mark it off. It's
Okay.
going to happen.
Cool.
Okay. And next up is Fetid.
Okay, so I just landed along with our little owlbear buddy. Where am I in relation to the rest of the combat happening right now?
So you are like just a few feet from the statue Tromlin and from where Copernicus was standing. Copernicus has now run up 30 feet to toss his knife to Ugna. You're within. I think you were within 30 feet because you were using your attack into melee without any penalties.
Yeah.
So you're basically about 30 feet away from where Ugna and the Quagolithid are.
Okay. Let's see. What are the rules for my summon beast again? Like, what kind of critter can I potentially summon?
Absolutely. So it's basically a spirit that you summon that has the form of a beast. So it gets the abilities thereof, and it basically has the ability to do like some basic attacks. You choose its environment type. So what kind of animal you want? It's either a land, or air, or water animal. And then it gets slightly different abilities based on which of those it is. So the hit points, for example, is less if it's an air one, more if it's land or water. But the air ones can do a flyby attack that does not provoke attack of opportunity, whereas the land and water ones can do pack tactics.
Okay.
So you could, for example, summon like a wolf type dog thing that would attack in hand to hand. It also gets more hit points for each for extra spell levels, but I think 2 is your high, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's gonna be the base.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to summon some sort of critter. Probably not. I wonder what I could summon to try and pull this thing off of Ugna.
What
Well,
is the
pack
natural
tactics is
predator of squid?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but
a whale.
yeah. I
A
summon
sperm whale.
yes.
Yeah.
A very small sperm
Yeah.
whale.
I was summoning a sperm whale and then I woke up.
Hey.
Hey.
Ba-dum-bum-ba-dum-choo. Although you know at this point that it seems to be unable to be it seems to be unaffected by non-magical attacks, and a
Yeah.
summoned beast would do like physical damage.
Yeah, I'm more just thinking of giving it another distraction than to do any
For
real
sure.
damage to this thing. So yeah, why don't I? How close is Ugna and the Illithid to the water?
Further than you are, because
Okay.
you're over on the beach and they're closer to the tower, so they're probably
All
a
right.
good like 40-50 feet from the water.
Okay, I would like to summon a badger to go harass Mr. Illithid.
A angry badger.
I choose you.
Yep.
And an angry badger appears, and it can immediately attack. So go ahead and roll an attack roll.
All right. Dice.
And what is its attack bonus?
I rolled an 11.
Actually, pretty good.
Cool.
This thing's got a +7 to hit.
All right, that would make it an 18 then.
Oh no, better. It uses your spell attack modifier to hit. I think that's
Okay.
that. Oh, that is a 7. So yeah, there we go.
Cool.
So what'd you roll to hit?
11 plus 7 would be an 18.
That is a hit. So it does it bites, and it doesn't seem to affect him too much, but that's not surprising. But it's definitely causing some difficulties. This means, by the way, that Alina, you'll have a friend in
nice.
this melee.
Cool.
You have advantages from doing that.
Excellent.
And
Okay.
I'm assuming that summoning that would be my turn.
Yeah,
basically.
that's your action. Yeah,
Okay.
unless you have a bonus action you want to use. You do have some bonus action.
No, I think I already have him marked and everything, so I think I'm good.
You can use a bonus action to give Filth an attack, but you already know that he's not taking any
Right.
damage from that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna risk Filth taking a hit or anything when I know it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the majority of your bonus options.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would like an initiative roll from Copernicus to enter the initiative order.
We're from
Or
Trump.
not Copernicus, sorry, Tromlin.
Oh, for me? Okay.
Just toss an initiative roll and I'll tell you where you land.
See, my initiative is. Oh, shoot. I managed to close the wrong file.
I got it. If you just want to roll the die, I can tell you.
I still need to have my file open, so.
Yeah. You have a +3 initiative.
Okay. So that would be 13.
Excellent. Okay, so Tromlin and Copernicus, as you are sort of having this conversation through the book, Copernicus, you think to yourself, what if I can create? I share blood with Tromlin. What if I could create some kind of blood nexus or blood elemental that he could then maybe I could give him somehow control of it or something. And so you begin to perform the blood. And this is I'm not taking any of your actions to do this because you spend a hero point. And so you begin to perform the ritual to do this. You take only 1 point of damage from your blood magic. And you start to create a little blood elemental to see what happens. And the little blood elemental kind of like hovers there as you concentrate on Tromlin, and you tell him through the mind link of your book that you're doing this. And Tromlin, you manifest your familiar through this magic, and the blood magic becomes a blood version of Tromlin's monkey.
Blood monkey.
Oh, blood monkey!
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
And you can now use your
my favorite metal
familiar to cast spells and do things like you normally would with your familiar.
Excellent.
So, top of the round though begins with Ugna, who now has a magic knife.
Hell yeah.
My
And a
knife!
friend, so I get advantage to stab this
Indeed,
Yep.
I'm angry.
Start
Okay.
shivving.
you
boy.
have
Oh, man.
advantage to strike him. Go for it.
Heck yes. Well, that's a 19. Before I add the +8, so I'm guessing that hits.
That very hits.
But what is the damage
It
on
is-
this dagger?
1d6 plus 1, and then plus your normal strength damage bonuses.
Gotcha. And then I'm throwing a superiority point on this, because fuck this guy.
Ugh.
And I assume this is a fainting attack,
Yes.
so you'll have advantage on the next attack.
And a die roll here. Boop-a-doop-a-boo. Okay.
Damage is
Plus my strength.
so plus 5, in other words.
Plus
so
5,
total
and then an extra
d6
plus
plus
1.
6,
D6 plus 6.
because it's magic.
8. 13.
13 damage.
13 damage to
and
his face.
you have a second attack.
I'm going to do the same thing, because
You have advantage on this
I'm
second attack.
angry. Oh, nat 20.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Get some fucking hype in the chat.
Some
That
superiority
is
point on
it,
this one.
buddy.
My last one, but it is worth it.
My goodness.
Let's go. Let's do this. Woof! I rolled real good on both those dice, actually. So 6 and a 7, plus another 6, so 12 plus 7 is 19 damage doubled.
Wow.
Nice. 19 doubled, so that is 38.
38.
That was a big effect.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Whew.
Okay. Thank you, by the way, Jay Payne in
Yes,
the chat,
thank you, Jay
for tipping
Payne.
everybody over
Woo.
into the new inspiration lands. Oh my goodness, Morgan, it is your turn.
I
Ugna did some stabbing
I'm just
on
stabbing
this
this guy in
little
his
critter.
little squid face.
I'm
Okay.
going to do a little bit more. I would also like to give a shout out to the sun, which is somehow here in Vancouver at this moment. Feels like a bit of a paid actor in this scene.
Yeah.
You look like you're
Um,
actually in a forest glade.
You
like,
do
Yeah,
actually.
like your
Okay,
I
character-
planned.
I
I
your-
planned
your
all of
Fey
this.
character is
Amazing.
paying it up.
Yeah.
come up behind you.
Yeah. I'm gonna try more of the same. So first, I'll use my bonus action for the Storm Sphere. So that's a spell
Go for it.
attack. That's a 7 plus 9.
Will
And
not
then-
make it.
Ooh.
not make it.
We'll
But
swap
you have,
over to my pink.
You have a couple of inspirations.
I will. I will try again with this beauty, one of my first dice. Let's see. Oh, fuck yeah, that's a 19 on the dice.
Ooh.
Okay. And that is confirming here 46 lightning damage.
Nice.
This one, nice. I got a 6. This is Gen Con 2010. A 4, a 3, and a 1 for lightning damage.
And 14 lightning damage.
Nice.
And then we're going with a Chaos Bolt.
A chaos bolt. I have the screen up.
That is a 18.
That'll hit.
All right,
Roll
2d8
your
first.
2d8s.
Looked like it was doubles, but it's actually an 8 and a 3. That
So
is a
thunder or fire.
Thunder all the way.
That's your thing. Thunder, thunder, thunder damage.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
And then
no.
2 on top of that, so 12. 13 altogether? Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. Another 12.
13, sorry.
13. There's a point on there. Kabwam! It is his turn and he does some healing, but boy oh boy he racked up a lot more damage than he healed.
And probably a wild magic chance.
I rolled, but you did not have a wild magic
Oh,
search this
okay.
time. However, the Quag Illithid is not in a great shape, not very pleased about all these things that are happening. He desperately tries to get a bite on Ugna. And he will succeed this time.
Ooh.
No.
No.
Will he though? Will he though?
Silvery barbs?
Oh, silvery
Silvery
barb.
Silvery
barbs.
Bob.
Okay, so just double checking. That just straight up gives him, forces him to roll again, right?
Yep, no change.
Yep.
Yep.
He is within 60 feet of you, and he has succeeded on an attack roll. So I will force him to re-roll. That costs your reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I'm just double checking if he has to use the lower roll. Okay.
Oh.
I critted.
Probably good.
I critted. However, he does not get to use the crit. He is forced to
Phew.
use the lower roll.
Phew.
But that does still hit.
Okay.
And then
Who do you
our
want to get
beautiful,
advantage to? Ugna already has a bunch of advantage now.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
but she's
could give it to
also
anybody
my
else.
favorite.
It's up to you.
I guess Tromlin.
I
He
am
is
a
hurting
statue.
him.
There's no reason to give me they can't really hurt me.
Yeah, Fetid
They-
seems to be the other one who's really
Fetid?
doing the damage.
Yeah.
Okay, Fetid,
I'll
you
take
can
it.
have it.
Thank
You
you.
All right.
stinky, stinky boy.
That's me.
I do appreciate the offer, though.
Let's see here.
Okay, Quag Illithid has struck. Where's my damage? There we are. Hang on a sec. I'm trying to find the dang damage.
Hopefully less than 27?
There it is. Well, it's 5d10, so 27 is actually the average.
Yeah.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah.
So I think it will indeed be 27.
Ooh.
Does that put you down?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Don't forget though, that means that you are at 1 hit point
That
because
is
you
true.
are an orc,
I am an orc.
and he regains 27 hit points. I'm actually going to roll it
Owie.
in case he rolls higher, just because
So I will mark off my
that works.
relentless endurance for today, and I have 1 hit point.
Okay. And he regains 30 hit points,
Oof.
which is
Yikes.
still
Yeesh.
less than just Ugna did to him
That's
last
true.
round. Or so far this round. Still the same round. Okay. But he is still grappling on Ugna, who is looking very, very bad and dire. So this isn't great.
He like swarms up to my throat and gets a good like artery hold on there, and I go down, but then I'm one eye cracks open. It's very angry.
Yep. And he is going to attempt, or sorry, he also gets to attack with his tentacles
No,
with his second
No.
action.
no.
Not fair.
So
OP.
he is going to do that. And that is a total dirty 20. That'll hit you.
Ooh, no.
This does not do a lot of damage, but
Yeah,
you
but I
only
have
have one hit point.
Sort of a binary situation
Mhm.
at the moment.
Yeah, you take another 8 points of damage.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yep.
Oh no.
And you also would roll a saving throw to avoid being stunned for a round, but
Nope, I'm out.
you're down.
What about the whole
Ugna goes down,
Yeah, I'm done.
and he slurps his tentacly way up towards Ugna's head.
Mm,
I got you.
good.
Cromlin, it's your turn.
Question. Does this count as a long rest? Like, was I able to prepare? I
It would
haven't
count
done
as a
anything for
short.
real.
It would count as a short rest, unfortunately, but you do still have some spell slots.
Do I have a third level spot?
I'm just double checking from what I recall. I think you only cast one third level spell. You didn't cast either of your actual third level spells, but you cast
Well,
one.
I got a surprise for our friend.
What you thinking?
Daylight.
Oh shit.
That's a good one.
Hell yes. Hell yes. He does seem to be a vampire. He just fully vampired me.
A 60-foot radius sphere of light spreads from one
Yep.
point. I assume it's actual daylight. I mean, it's called daylight.
I am
It's
going to
specifically
yes.
daylight. I think it says like it has effects like natural daylight. That's kind of the whole point
I'm
of the
just double
spell.
checking. Yeah, I'm double checking what it specifically says. Why doesn't it say? It doesn't say anything about whether it's natural daylight. It just says sphere of light. Yeah, the main thing is that it dispels darknesses, but I'm just going to double check. Daylight spell versus vampires. Clearly, lots of people have asked for clarification on this.
If it doesn't, I have.
It does not. It does not count as sunlight. There's a separate spell that does that. There's a spell called
Okay, no,
Sunbeam and
that's-
Ah,
Sunburst.
that sucks.
It
Yeah.
was worth a shot.
It was a good thought.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good thought.
Okay. And hold on. I might be casting one of my low level spells as a third level.
Yep.
If I can get the. Here we go. Guiding bolt.
For sure.
So let's see. A ranged attack.
Yep.
All right.
Indeed so. The blood monkey
The-
goes, meh. So your attack bonus is your usual, +7.
All right. Let's see. Oh shit. Okay. Does AC 24 hit?
It does.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Does
Okay.
indeed.
So that means I get 66 on him for damage.
Nice.
This is true.
But it's radiant damage.
Indeed.
Well, that might be
Excellent. Good.
You have no idea if that has a special effect on a vampire
Vampires.
Illithid, but it probably wouldn't hurt.
Seems likely.
Seems plausible.
Let's see here. 10, 20, 29 points of damage.
Damn.
Nice.
My lowest roll was a 3, so
If that's doubled at all, that was going to be an astounding amount of damage.
How much damage was that?
29.
Excellent. You've undone like all the healing.
But if does it redouble for radiance or?
It does seem to be burning him, but he doesn't seem to be like bursting into ashes at the moment. He is still slavering his way up towards Ugna's head. Copernicus, you're up next.
Oh, and don't forget, whoever attacks him next, you will have advantage on him.
Advantage,
So I'm gonna
indeed.
try and stun this fucker. First I'm gonna do a distracting intrusion though.
Okay, I'm rolling his saving throw. He's good.
Okay.
He has
Then
quite a bonus on wisdom.
I'm gonna pick my knife up off of Ugna's fallen body so that I can do blood magic, and initiate a stunning chill touch.
Yes,
And hopefully
indeed.
this goes well. So here's the advantage. Jeez. I might put inspiration on that. Does this? Oh, 17 hits, right?
Yes.
17 is exactly his armor class.
17 exactly. All right.
Thank
That's a
goodness
hit.
for advantage.
So he's got to make the DC, or this is agonizing. And he has to make the DC.
Yeah.
A con save against, I guess I'm assuming my spell DC of 15. Will be
Indeed.
stunned
And
for
I'm
1
about
minute.
to do that, but first I'm going to tell my players to please step away from the chat because it is time for the first poll of the night.
Oh no.
Okay.
I am launching the poll. So audience, please note that y'all have the opportunity to vote in this poll as many times as you like. 1 vote for free, and you can spend channel points to vote more times if you have a particular favorite that you would like to see occur. The poll will run for 10 minutes, so please let me know what we are going to get.
Oh shit! So I'm looking up radiant damage in vampires, and apparently, like, there was like a Ask Watsy staff the question from 2016.
Yep.
And it does have an effect on them, a very specific effect.
What did they say? I have a specific
According to
thing
Chris
in front of me.
Perkins, radiant damage shuts down the vampire's regeneration trait.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Ooh, very good.
I mean, I was just gonna keep trying with my chaos bolt, hoping for like
Yep.
garlic damage, but
Well,
I
chill
was-
touch,
For
chill
no
touch
reason.
also suppresses the regeneration for the round.
Nice.
Yep. So does so does radiant damage. It affects their next
Nice.
turn.
For no reason was looking up what happens if you're reduced to 0 hit points by a vampire's bite.
Vampire?
You wouldn't be reduced to 0 hit points by a vampire's bite because what an Illithid does when it
That's
goes
true.
after someone who is
It's your
down
brain.
is devours their brain.
It's my brain. I wasn't
which-
using it anyway.
Probably is what he's going for.
Yeah.
But
Technically, the bite
Copernicus,
brought you to 1. The bite brought you to 1.
That's true,
technically,
yeah.
And then the tentacles brought you to 0.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping
Copernicus,
Yeah.
he saves to avoid being stunned, correct?
Did he beat a 15 on con?
He did.
Okay, then yeah.
Okay, that's what I
He's
wanted
not
to make sure.
But he
And
takes,
what was the damage?
takes 18 necrotic damage. He cannot heal. I'm going to try and get his attention with every bit of, there's only enough room for one undead evil eldritch monstrosity in this cave, and it's me. I really want his attention to see if I can get him to attack me. He has disadvantage on attacks against me because he's undead.
I'm not even awake to hear this, and I will never, ever, ever figure out that your character is undead.
Something happens.
wait a minute. Does Copernicus
gonna-
have main character syndrome? Oh my god.
Something happens immediately following that statement. But I'm going to do Fetid's turn first. Fetid, go ahead and let me know what you're going to do.
Okay, I would like to run over to Ugna and do a Cure Wounds on her.
Ooh, thank you. I
do
forgot
so.
that you have some healing.
Yes, I do.
Nice.
You may indeed do that.
You also
so,
have silvery
please.
barbs.
would
I don't
also
think the
like-
silvery barbs helps because he doesn't need to roll. Um,
And can I
cure
bump
wounds.
that up to a second spell level?
You sure can.
All right,
Nice.
I would like to do that as well.
All right, so that means that you can roll the 2d8
2d8.
plus your spellcasting ability of 4 for the number of hit points that are returned
Woo!
to Ugna.
I don't have to make death saves.
9 plus. You said my spellcasting modifier?
Yeah, it's plus 4. Like your
13 hit points to
wisdom
you.
bonus, basically. Ugna regains 13 hit points.
Nice. Rather
And
than
at the
counting
same
my damage,
time-
I'm just counting how many hit points I have.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, at the end of that round, Copernicus, as soon as you make your statement, you hear a voice in your head that says, "Interesting.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's not good.
Tell me more."
I'll wait for my turn to respond.
No, go ahead.
Can I Arcana
this
check
is all
what
happening in your...
is this? Do I think this is the Illithid speaking in my head, or?
You do not. It sounds. I mean, you haven't heard this voice specifically, but you have been feeling compulsions from the pages that you have.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Great.
You
Good,
maybe feel like it's related.
I'm going to say. If you're looking for a vessel to carry forth your terrible will and wreak arcane horrors on the world, you could at least go with someone who's like a foot taller. Just, I've got that going for me. But in his, I don't know if this whatever this entity is can sense my thoughts or my feelings, but Perny is definitely like, I think he's kind of always a little bit at war within himself about like, he loves eldritch horror and he loves casting these horrible things, but he also has a lot of like values about like loving his friends and family, and so like I think he kind of knows that he's not really Dark Lord material. He's more like Dark Grandpa material. So that hesitation might show through if an entity is currently searching his soul for a vessel. That might show through.
So with that initial kind of response of like, it might choose someone at least as taller. The response, all you really hear is agreed, and then the voice just goes away.
Okay.
But at which point I'm going to leave combat time. Because at the beginning of the next round, Ugna would be able to go, but other things are happening as well.
Things are afoot.
Actually, no, I will keep the initiative order just because of a couple things that need to play out here. Ugna, you are conscious. Fedid has like laid a grimy hand on you, and he spits on his hand and rubs it in your wound.
Perfect.
It's
That's
that
all I
good
need.
kind of bacteria that's in like yogurt and stuff.
Yeah. You pay for that.
Mm-hmm,
Like it's expensive.
Active cultures.
It's Whole Foods.
Mm-hmm. Living.
And you come around to see this Quagulithid like suctioning its tentacles up towards your face.
No. I would like to not be here.
So you don't have a magical weapon, but you can
No.
attempt to kind of like, grapple attack, whatever, and like knock
I don't
him away.
have my normal pushing attack, but can I just try to throw him?
Well, you can attempt a pushing attack, right? Because you don't need a weapon. You can.
No, but I'm out of my superiority points. I spent the last
Oh,
one.
are you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That was your last one.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
I just want to
in that
yeet
case,
this guy.
Mm-hmm.
he is going to grapple back. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to narrate some of what happens here. So you don't want to do any rolls here. You grab to get a hold of him and try and throw him away from you, and his tentacles like sucker down your arm and your head, and he's just like desperately trying to get at your blood, trying to get at you. Morgan, seeing this melee down below, what were you looking to do next?
destroy the motherfucker. In short,
Light him up.
So hit him with another lightning blast.
at the very least,
I'm going to get you to roll your 2d8 on the, or roll to hit on both of those. Just roll your 2 hit rolls.
I actually think I'm going to yet again steal Ugna away.
Sorry, you'd have to do the thunder step, you mean? You'd have to
I
get down
think-
there.
Yeah, I think I'm going to attempt an athletics check to jump down and thunder step her away again.
I don't think you'll be able to do that all in this turn, because thunder step is an action, right? Not a bonus. Just double checking. Yeah, it's an action.
Joyous leap. The satyr, like, I let jump real far.
No, she has like various magics. Like she can basically
gotcha.
feather fall down on there,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's still going to take an action to get set up and then an action to cast it. But you
Is
can get into
Misty
position
Step
to do
movement?
it. Oh, Misty Step is
Misty
a bonus
Step?
action.
Yeah, I think a Misty Step. I could Misty Step and then
So you
thunder.
could
And then
jump
thunder step.
off with your movement.
Yeah.
And as you're falling, Misty Step down to where Ugna is, and then use your action to thunder step out of the way.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say you did that.
Yes.
The only problem is that thunder step is going to also hit Copernicus and Fetid.
I have
Careful spell.
careful spell.
Yeah.
So I'll be utilizing that.
I figured. So I'm just double checking if that means save for half or what.
I believe it's
Or-
saved for half.
Yeah, so they're good. So they automatically make their save, but they'll take half damage. So roll your 3d10 damage, and you will do damage to all and sundry, but it'll be half damage to Fetid, Copernicus, and Trey.
Right. 3d10.
Yep.
Oh, nice. One of them is a 10, one of them is an 8, and one of them is a 1.
That's nice in some contexts and bad in others, because that's 19 damage,
Yeah.
so that's going to be 9 damage each
Ouch.
to
Yeah.
Trey, Fetid, and Copernicus.
Whoa. Trey is
You still up? Everyone's still up?
Just.
Yep.
He's not looking great.
So yeah,
And then you are now anywhere
gonna-
within 90 feet.
So I hop,
With-
I misty step down, and I wrap my arms and legs around Ugna, and I just look at Copernicus and go, "But not evil, right?" And then thunder step away, and I'll just go back up on the roof. 'Cause
Yep,
it's
get back up where you were.
Good.
nice elbow drop location
Sounds good.
for
Yep.
Ugna.
And the Quagillithid is next, and the Quagillithid is going to, having like the tentacles were about to clutch in on Ugna's head, and they meet on thin air, and he's blown backwards by this thunderous detonation. And now he's on his knees with his tentacles all flailing out ahead of himself, and he shouts, "No! No! What? My master! What did I do? What did I do wrong? No!" And he will lunge for Fetid
Ooh.
and miss, because
Good.
Fetid is too quick and wily. But Fetid is the next nearest target that he could try and eat the head of. But your armor class 17 beats his hit roll.
That's very good, because I only have
Nice.
11 hit points left right now.
Ooh.
Indeed. Oh, sorry, but he has 2 attacks. I better roll the other one.
No.
That's less good.
Oh, that will hit.
Well,
I have my reaction.
What do you want to do with it?
Silver barbs.
Silver barbs. I'm gonna
Silver
running out of these
barbs.
pretty quick.
Loves those
Thankfully,
silver
I got that
barbs.
one random back.
Putting in some work.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he still hits.
Oh no.
Alright.
Yar.
But you do
Which is
get.
+8, but that does give advantage to somebody.
I believe that it still has one, so to Copernicus it goes.
Sounds good. Okay. So, which attack is that actually hit you? Can't be that one. Oh, it has to be the tentacles, right?
They hit hard.
No, they do a lot less damage. They do 1d6 plus 4. That's a
Oh,
lot,
okay.
but it
Wow.
but it
That's a lot
automatically
less.
grapples.
Right.
So Fetid takes 7 points of damage,
Okay.
and you need to make. You are grappled, and you need to
Okay.
make a DC 15 con save to avoid being stunned.
Oh, okay.
With advantage.
Yeah.
Yes, with advantage.
You said I have advantage for this roll?
Yeah,
Mhm,
and you
mhm.
only have a +1 con save, so
Yeah.
you need to roll a 14.
Well, it's not going to be good enough.
Ooh no.
So Fetid is stunned and paralyzed in place as the tentacles are wrapping around his face, and this does not look good to folks. Tromlin, you get to go next.
I imagine he tastes horrible.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to get food poisoning.
Yeah.
So I assume that an Illithid vampire is too high level for me to turn.
That is correct. Oh crap! I just realized that the poll went by and closed, and I didn't see the ending.
Oh.
Can someone who was there?
Is it safe to go in the chat, or should I wait a minute?
It is safe
Wait a
to go in the chat. This is my least favorite thing about the poll thing. Can someone who was in the chat tell me in the Discord? Perhaps Kaitu was there and saw what won, because I missed it.
It was like 4 inspiration for me, right?
And we all got a free level.
Yeah.
And
Morgan's given us all so much inspiration. I think that she should
Good.
get 4 inspiration back.
Hell yeah.
I do inspire a lot in people.
It's true.
A lot of annoyance,
Very
often.
inspiring.
So Fetid is paralyzed.
I am.
Yes, he seems to be being like face devoured by this Illithid. Luckily,
Fuck it.
he got hit with the tentacles and the grapple, and not the blood drain.
I could lesser restoration him, but I think it might be better if I just guiding bolt this motherfucker again.
I think so too. And that leads me to a narrative moment that I am going to do. So from that point, so Fetid is like dropping down, paralyzed, as the tentacles wrap around his head. Clearly, are going to attempt to get his brain next.
Good luck with
And
that, bud.
both Tromlin and, well, I mean, he was going after Ugna's, so you know.
Ours at least has some like nutritional value, I think. Mine is nothing but
Oh.
prions. It's all
I
bad.
was on it. So no, what is going to happen simultaneously here is that it will become Copernicus's turn as well, right after Tromlin's turn. Tromlin stabs out through the blood monkey another guiding bolt that strikes this Quagulithid, and he rears back, half paralyzed as the radiance of the light kind of builds over his body. While he's paused there, Copernicus, you can throw one of your spells at him, your chill touch, and the general spectral skeletal hook hand that appears in the air whenever Copernicus casts this spell appears, flies out, and kind of grabs at the Quagulithid. But instead of just doing that and kind of like hanging on to him, and then doing like an effect like pulling on him or pushing on him or all the other things that Copernicus often does, there's like a surge of energy that goes back up the line to Copernicus's wand, which is Barb's little fishing rod. And the Quag Illithid just begins to disintegrate, like he was just suddenly a statue made of cigarette ashes.
Oh no! It has chosen a new master.
As
Right.
the light, the glowing light. At the same time, a very distracting thing occurs that from everybody else's perspective, which is that Gary finally is no longer paralyzed,
Gary!
and
Yay.
a series of
Gary.
3 eye beams are
Gary
going to be
Igex.
randomly selected.
Good.
I'm very
Just-
pleased that is canonically his name now.
Yes.
Extremely good.
Just gurgling up gross water. Guys, are you okay?
So I would like to have you guys roll the raise for me. 3 random raise. 1,
Oh,
2,
boy.
3, 4, 5,
What
6,
what
7,
die do you roll?
8, 9, 10. D10.
Just roll 1d10.
3 people roll a d10.
Yeah, 3
I
people
will-
roll a
I
D10.
will
so
roll.
much cut.
I will
I
roll
rolled
a
a
d10.
1.
I got a 10.
I got a 6.
Where's 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, perfect. So
Deep
Gary,
petrification.
having freed himself, is going to no telekinetic beam rips the chul free from himself. It moves it 30 feet and holds it there, while his other beams temporarily charm it, which makes it release him. And then the death ray was the last one.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
The 10 that was rolled by.
The charm was
Nasty.
just the eye stalks developing really nice lashes. Just
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
blink, blink, and you wouldn't want to hold me, would you? Ooh, ooh. And then he lets go, and then immediately regrets it as he's like jettisoned across the lake and zapped with a death ray. That does 55 damage,
Ooh.
Crap.
and
He's
then
dead.
it would be the slime chul's turn, but I'm going to take that opportunity to use Gary's legendary action and shoot him again.
Legend Gary!
Such a legend.
Love this
And
guy.
he is going to do another 45 damage, and that will be
Holy
a
moly.
disintegration on the slime
Ooh,
chul.
I'm very glad he's on our side.
Yeah.
Yes.
Most of the when he's not sneezing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So all that happened. So like the beholder comes shooting out of the lake, looking like just covered in like gashes and sucker marks and damage. He took like over 150 points of damage.
Ooh.
Crap.
I'd be dead.
And his eye beams zorch into the lake and just fry the giant slime chul. At the same time, all the rest of this stuff happens. And yeah, the disintegrating Quagillithid is gone. You're no longer in combat time.
I
Good.
think as the ash is like falling on Fernie's face and there's like boiling water exploding from the rays and everything, I'll turn to Morgan and be like, I can promise you, I'm not evil. I'm just horrifying, and indeed like covered in blood, ash,
Yep.
bits of chul. But my thing is just being horrifying. I swear.
Is-
Morgan will float down and go, it's okay. And as she like pats you, just to prestidigitation to like, blurp.
Did we get
I
him?
love this.
Is he,
I love the
is he
image
gone?
of Ugna and Morgan jumping off of the roof together, but Ugna like doing the superhero landing thum at the bottom, and Morgan going toot, 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 toot. Mary Poppins.
I'm going to through my blood monkey. I cast Cure Wounds at third level on Ugna.
Ooh,
I
thank
think
you.
you're out of third level slots, but I will point out that Fetid is dying.
Yeah, Fetid's
Oh.
not. He's down.
All right.
Fetid's at 0 hit points.
Fetid
Oh,
at
yeah.
second level. I am rolling. Oh, that's not bad actually. That'd be 16 points total.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Can I
You are
sneak in a
back up.
spare the dying unfetid before Tromlin does that, just so I can get 10 free HP out of fetid?
Sure.
I could
The
use
blood
them.
monkey was busily looking to Ugna first anyway, so yeah.
Yeah.
So a spare the dying, which doesn't, which gives you 10 hit points, although it doesn't take any from Fetid.
And I will
Yeah.
run over and scoop up Trey, who I'm sure is looking real bashed up at this point, and
Yep.
try and dry his blood
Easy
with
peasy.
my shirt.
I will heal on Trey as well then. Another 13.
Oh, nice.
And you can also do a heal on Ugna if you like. That's going to put you back down to only first level spell slots, but you have
That's fine. It's worth it.
several.
Oh, that is a 16 points.
Oh, nice. That more than doubles my hit points. Nice.
By the way, as the spells that we're being concentrated on kind of go away and you're all kind of gathering here, you will catch the sight here and there of some intellect devourers kind of like lurking in the shadows. They're all in the process of like disintegrating, of like crumpling and wrinkling up and curling up dead.
Cool.
Gary is like furiously floating above the lake looking around like, come on, where are you? And anything he sees like that, he'll send an I-beam zorching it. He's quite upset about what just happened. A beholder who almost got killed by a lesser monster just because it has
Ooh.
paralyzing tentacles.
Ooh,
Very embarrassing.
the shame.
Couldn't even use his legendary actions on it.
Gary, you okay over there, bud?
Yeah, I'm fine,
Cool.
he says, bleeding ichor from like a dozen places with his 145 damage.
Oh, we should fix Trumlin's monkey. It seems to be covered in blood.
Oh no, the monkey is blood.
Oh, well then.
Oh,
I just gave it the old Copernicus twist.
I'm not gonna think too hard about that.
That's for the
I
best.
try not to think too hard about anything.
I mean, same, really.
Is it your blood?
I'm not gonna tell. It's my blood.
Roll credits.
Speaking of which, I would love to get a little short rest in here. I guess Bernie's be like, Grandpa's feeling a little winded and a little wounded, and I would not mind a moment to catch my breath if we feel that it's safe to do
Yeah,
so.
I think we all need to sort of collapse and lay very still for a while, if at all
Yeah.
possible.
This has been a hard time.
Well, and in fact, I'm happy to hand wave some passage of time here. So with a little quick bit of narration, unless there's anything pressing that you guys want to RP here. Anybody have any questions for each other about what's been going on?
I mean, is the
Not
monkey
yet.
talking? Or is it just all mental? To talk
It
to
just does what?
Trumlin.
The
It doesn't talk.
Tromlin can't talk through the monkey, but he can talk through the Perny net, so you
Okay.
guys can.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of like lag of writing it out, and then it comes back through Perny, but that's still a method of communication.
Cool.
I'll write openly so that Morgan can see the text that's going in and is sort of like at least part of the conversation. At some point, I'll do a little aside and just explain that when I write in this book, people hear it in their head and is a horrifying whisper from the beyond, and then they can whisper back to me. And if you want to be part of our little chat group, I can just need you to sign the book. But if you don't want voices whispering in your head, that's totally okay.
Who all has access to those voice spaces?
We call it disturb.
But
So
who else is in there?
It's just us. It's just our little group.
Copernicus could actually show the page that everybody signed, if you wanted
No, but
to.
like who's like is like who granted the ability and then
Oh,
gets
my
to listen in on that.
my wife just taught me some tricks, some goofs and gags and things like that, and this was one of the tricks she taught me.
I'm good for now, thanks.
Yeah, there's a page in the book that looks like it was signed in blood by Ugna, Fetid, Tromlin, and Glorpa also.
Do you get? Is this like a marriage thing, or
No,
like
so,
can you opt out
I,
anytime? Or
I've never had to do the unsubscribe. I know that's against the Dwemer Dwell spam laws, but I have not figured out how to unsubscribe people. So I'm CCing Glorpa on everything.
okay.
Okay.
What's the range?
As far as I know, it doesn't. There's no way to escape it.
Yeah, I'm good for now. I'm all right. I'm good with words. Thanks.
How's everybody doing? How are we all feeling?
I need a sleep,
Only mostly
like a
dead.
big sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Gary
real
says
hungry. I'm hungry.
I'm feeling a little beat up. I kind of need to. Yeah, I'm kind of hungry too. I might go find some food.
What do beholders eat?
I mean, mostly people,
Oh, okay.
but you guys are my friends. I mean, unless you don't need that owlbear.
No,
No,
he's
we
not he's
definitely
on the
need
menu.
the owlbear.
I got some snack bars. I'll, like, unwrap one and like hold it up while I'll toss it to his mouth.
He'll open his mouth, which is like as big as you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I toss
It's
a
like
snack bar in
5
there.
foot maw. You toss it in. He goes.
you
Yeah, I
hear
think
that?
I'm gonna need more than that. I better go find something.
That's fair.
Did you hear that? He called us people and friends.
Oh, that's great.
And he didn't annihilate us with his death laser.
Aw. Thanks, Gary.
Winning all around.
Yep.
So he floats off across the lake and says, "I'm gonna go check some of these tunnels and see if I can find anything to eat."
Where are our little guys? Are they okay?
They ran off. Well, they got to go somewhere safe, I think.
Yeah.
The Q word guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think if they were smart, they wouldn't have stopped running until they were somewhere safe.
Yeah, I think when you start hearing beholder death rays and unearthly screaming, probably get pretty far away.
They didn't fall
As
in the pit,
quickly as
though.
you can.
We got them out of the pit.
Yep.
Morgan's gonna look around for the makings of a comfy bed situation to have a
So
nap.
this is just a barren rock except for the little tower.
What's in the tower?
Which is mostly fucked
So
up
the
with
main-
lightning and thunder.
Well, there's 2 floors to the tower.
Right.
Yeah.
And you may recall from last time, the first floor is just kind of a general living space. There's a big wooden, really old-looking wooden table in the center of the room, with a few chairs around it, most of which are badly damaged and unusable. There's a huge stone hearth across from the entryway. The entryway had a big set of double doors that are mostly rotted away, that had been made of wood at some point. And there's a big stone stairwell circling around this level that goes up to the second level. In addition to that, on this first level, there's some kind of like almost a nested kind of area. Like someone has like brought some of the debris together to make like a bit of a bed and a bit of a space to hang out. There is, however, like remnants of brain or intellect devourers all over this chamber, that were torn apart by the spiked tentacles.
Is that
yeah,
okay for the little guy to eat?
Can I arcana that? Or is that a nature
Is it
thing?
safe to
For
eat
which
intellect
little
devourer?
guy?
The owlbear?
Yeah, is Trey allowed to eat?
The owl baby,
something?
sorry.
Yeah.
You're not too worried about feeding Trey though, because you've got the
Yeah,
the
he's
mayonnaise,
he's not
which is the
100% on
usual.
solid food yet. So he's mostly still milk. Trying to get him, on some solids.
Mayonnaise.
Yeah.
The second
Owlbears
floor.
produce milk?
Oh yeah, we had to milk one. That's how we found this guy. His
That was
mom
a
didn't like
whole
him.
thing.
Oh, okay.
So that's why he's with me now, and I'm his mama. Give him little beak waggles.
He like bites
Raven,
hard
that
on
was
a
the
finger.
adventure where Tromlin had to basically be an owlbear puppet.
Yeah, I was just about to say Tromlin has like 1,000-yard stare right now.
Well, I'm a statue, but still.
Yeah.
He already did.
Mm-hmm.
The second floor is a disaster area because the second floor was a bit of a library.
Oh.
And it is also the place where the storm sphere was for several rounds. So it basically looks like a small library that had a hurricane in it. And so it is just like there's loose pages just everywhere. There's probably not an entire book left. There's scorch marks because this is where you launched several lightning bolts into the room. There's probably still a fire somewhere. It's smoldering out because of the rain from the storm sphere. It's not a good look up here. But there is one undisturbed thing in this place. There is a pedestal in the center of the room, on top of which is a strange looking gem. This gem is not. It kind of is cut, but like weirdly haphazardly. It looks almost like it's a natural formation that just happens to have faceting, almost like a natural crystal.
Okay.
Can I pretty net something to the group real fast?
Fancy.
Yep.
Use my gem of true seeing, please.
Oh, smart.
Unfortunately, they cannot because every item that was on Copernicus or on Tromlin's person is currently appears to be made of stone.
Didn't we say
Except
he had the
for
gem of true seeing?
I think I took his gem before he got petrified.
Yeah, because I
because you
handed
were
it
using
him.
it.
That's how I was
I
seeing
thought
the
he
fairy
was
things
using
chasing me. That's how I saw
Okay.
the fairy things chasing me.
Yeah.
I think you might be right. I'm gonna say good enough. If that isn't true, hero point was spent, so I'm giving it to you.
He had to be able to see it, like, because I passed it to him, as I recall.
Yeah, I just can't
Yeah.
remember where it ended up right before that moment. So but I'm happy to say that is the case.
I'll take a little look through and report what I see. Actually, so can I do a quick self-diagnosis of like how infected with evil impulses I?
I mean, yes, but you don't have a baseline, so you can look at yourself, like look down at your arms and legs and hands, whatever.
Yeah.
And you'll definitely see like.
I meant more like a
lot.
self-insight check, less like a magical gem look over, and more like a.
Oh.
So Perny like. The closer Perny gets to this shit, the more he's gonna start doing dishonest things in the pursuit of power, and he knows that. And this is like at the top of the hill before things go downhill. This is his best chance to be like, maybe you guys shouldn't let me touch anything. This is his chance to have a sober-minded decision about his proximity to pure evil and corruption.
Yeah.
So that I would like to make some kind of insider wisdom thing before I do anything to even see what this thing is.
The first step is admitting you have a problem.
Yeah, that's basically it.
You roll me an insight check.
Yeah.
And I'm going to roll you a deception check.
Oh no.
As myself or as this thing?
As something.
I am not at liberty to divulge that.
It's a 9 from me. It's a 9 from me.
9 total?
Yeah.
You're full of weird dark magic, but you kind of always have been.
Okay.
Your common sense tells you that you can probably handle it. It's fine.
How certain am I?
That inspires a lot of confidence.
Am I like, I got this, or am I like...
Yeah.
Is this, can I have another shot of tequila, or is this like maybe...
Yeah. Am
Maybe
I in the
Hennessy
borderline?
first?
Am I in the borderline and if I'm in the borderline, I'm gonna actually take a moment before I pick up the gem to look through it and just be like, I think someone else should do this, and don't tell me what you see. If I'm on the borderline, or if I'm like, no, I'm good to go. If I'm like,
you're kind of good to go. Like you're sort of
Okay. Okay.
it's like I don't have a lot of data, but my best educated guess is I have like a very long I have a storied history of being able to cope with this sort of thing.
All right, let's do it.
I've got
This
a
ain't my
resistance.
first rodeo.
Yeah, Gemma True Sight it is. What do we
I
got
can
here?
hold my curses.
Yep. I'll take one more.
It's not
So
like I'm driving.
the room has no real illusions or anything overly weird in it, other than kind of traces of a spectral ectoplasm that would have you thinking that there was recently something pretty powerful hanging around here. You definitely are getting the feeling, and this is less from the gem itself and more from your arcana. In fact, give me an arcana roll so I can decide sort of how much to give you here.
That's a nat 20 with a
Oh,
plus 10
okay.
modifier.
Well, in that case, yeah, there is very strong traces of undeath here. And you'll recall that you were starting to, between your examination of the book pages that you have and just the things you've encountered here, you've begun to realize that there is some kind of major undead influence. And you think, given that voice that you heard as well, that yes, the plague is an undead thing that has basically been created by this quag Illithid, and clearly he did rituals to make these undead intellect devourers, and they were basically all undead, and the undead rats and zombies and things that were around that had been infected by the cordyceps type fungus. That is all undead. You expect there to be like a powerful undead behind it all, but you don't think that powerful undead was the quag Illithid. You think that it was in turn a minion of more powerful undead force.
Like whatever made it a vampire, possibly, or
Yeah.
bigger than that.
Or maybe whatever made it, period.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll communicate all
you
this to the group.
suspect, from what you know about that, from what you've researched so far on that book, which you haven't had a lot of time to spend with, but you've got some intimate knowledge of, you feel like he may have made himself, like he may have become what he is through investigation. I'll remind you
Right.
that from Fetid and his interactions with the Quaggles, you know that there was kind of an outcast mage halfling
Right.
hanging around down here, stirring up trouble, and that is probably this creature. It was clearly a halfling Quaggle or
At some
halfling
point.
Illithid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll share all that with the group, and I'll also mention, and whatever was behind him, I heard it in my head during the battle. So if you see Grandpa being weird, just feel free to just do a little check-in, just in case.
Define
How
weird.
would we know?
Yeah.
Well, I like to think that I have I'm very horrible. I'm horrifying. But I
not
think
that bad.
usually the word Morgan you used was evil, and that's not normally the line that I cross. And this is that. And
Okay.
this is a very I think it's made me a very interesting offer. And Grandpa does love his horrifying power. So just if you see Grandpa being a little weird, feel free to do a little wellness check-in.
Okay.
Also, through your examination here, you are a little disappointed to discover that very little of the library that is here is salvageable. But you feel a little better when you kind of find a few scraps that you realize are basically some fairly basic magic book type stuff. Like, again, clearly there was this halfling crappy ass wizard who set up shop here. And so a lot of these books are what a kind of half-assed halfling wizard would have at his beck and call.
He'd probably also get a free gander at what my items or
Well, yeah,
things are.
I'm not done yet. There's still a lot more to go.
Ooh.
Uh, so obviously, there's nothing that you don't already know going on with Ugna, Tromlin, or Fetid.
Tromlin is a blood monkey who's being puppeted by someone in the statue. Obviously.
Just another Tuesday.
Yep.
But you will note some magical items that stand out on Morgan's person.
Ooh.
And now you had already detected that these are magic because you always detect magic. But you've got a closer look at specifically Morgan's glittery, I was going to say Starbucks cup, but what would be the equivalent in Dungeons and Dragons?
Maybe like a potion bottle,
Mm-hmm.
a very intricate potion bottle.
Nice.
Probably not made of glass, but you know.
And then Morgan has a magic ring, which you had never noticed before.
Okay.
Morgan also has a magical cloak, but you had already detected that that was a magical cloak.
Cool.
I'm probably also wearing concealer.
Yeah, I'm not sure how the Gem of True Seeing works on that,
It's a disguise, technically.
but it doesn't see through like non-magical disguise. So
Okay.
I'm not sure about that. Maybe it would give you advantage to roll against it or something. And then, in addition, there is the gem. The gem is very interesting magic. It's definitely there. There's no illusions involved with this Gem of True Seeing, but there is like an aura around it. Of course, you can detect that it is magical, but the aura around it reminds you very much of the dappled sunlight of the Feywilds that you have recently been hanging out in. And the one thing that you do notice that is not visible to everyone else in the room is the fairy cat,
Ooh.
who is sitting on a nest of some of the destroyed books that it has kind of begun kneading for itself, and is just sitting there casually looking at itself. And as soon as you look at the gem and it beyond the gem, it stops and just stares at you with its glowing green eyes.
So I'm looking at a fairy cat here, and
Where?
and I'm looking at a very fairy-powered looking gem, and I'm wondering, hey, Mr. Fairy Cat, you know anything about this gem? Would you mind if I just took it? And I'm gonna like reach toward it as if I'm taking it just to see how he reacts. I'm not actually gonna take it or touch it. I just want to.
As you reach towards it, his ears flatten back a little, and he just kind of stares at you, like he's not sure what you're about to do.
So the cat's really interested in the gem.
Hmm.
Anyone
I'm staring in
want to
completely the
identify
wrong
this?
direction. I'm going. Pss, 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 pss.
I'll do an identify ritual, but if someone's got something faster that they can do on this, you're welcome to do that.
You got time. You guys are taking a rest here, right? So.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'll do an identify.
So first of all, in order to identify on it, you do need to grab it. You need to touch it.
I would do a Arcana check. Do I have to pick it up for that, or
No, you can do an Arcana check just to
Okay.
look at it.
rolling 2 dice? I'm betting for advantage, right?
Yeah, I would take that argument.
I would say a 10 and a 13. 'Cause I know I have to make skill checks with disadvantage.
Yeah.
Oh right, because you're sick.
I got my moon time. I got a +6 for Arcana.
So your low roll is a 16. You believe, like, you've heard of things like this in the Feywild, sort of, keystones of Arcadia, and you believe that this is something of that nature. But what this particular one does, you wouldn't be sure. You don't think there's any kind of magic protection on it because there's no sort of like symbols or spell-like things on the pedestal. So you're not sure if it's particularly a bad idea to touch it or not. Copernicus as well, you don't see any signs of like a spell or a magical protection of any sort on the pedestal or anything like that.
Can I try to speak with animals with this fairy cat, and maybe we'll just ask the cat what it thinks?
Ooh, good
You-
idea.
You unfortunately can't at the moment because you don't know
I'm-
where it is. You can't see the cat.
I see.
I'm gonna pick up a stick and I'm
Nice.
gonna poke the gem.
Okay,
I poke the
you do
gem.
so. The gem,
watching
which
the
was
fairy
kind of the gem. Well, first of all, you watch the fairy cat as you do this. It's staring at Morgan now with the ears flattened still. Morgan pokes the gem, which is a kind of a flat base, so it just kind of goes tunk tunk. And the fairy cat sits up upright, kind of like tall with the ears like up really high, like it's looking for something or paying attention. And then it shakes its head, like shakes out its fur, and disappears. And I mean disappears from the geometry seeing, like it's not here anymore.
The fairy cat is gone.
But actually, I should add, as it disappears, it will say to you, Copernicus, um, goodbye.
At least
You
it's
should
polite.
take it. And then it looks down.
Oh no.
It looks down at the base of the pedestal when it says that,
The base
and then
of
it
the
disappears.
pedestal.
Yep.
I'm gonna smell the stick that I poked it with and examine it for like scorch marks.
When you're done with it, I'm gonna eat it.
And then I'll throw the stick.
I need a quick second to reset my headset. It's weirdly out of sync.
And then I'm gonna start going for it
Go for it.
because shiny.
Yeah, go get that ice.
Mm-hmm.
When the fairy says you should definitely touch the thing, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what the fairy thing said because
Yeah.
I don't hear or see the fairy. But I do have
Okay, there we go.
impulsive and hedonistic tendencies. And is shiny, and I like magic.
Shiny.
Wait, do we have
So-
exact same tendencies?
Oh no.
Let me ask. Okay,
You
so
don't know
So
that.
Copernicus, you were looking. Are you looking where the cat
I'm gonna
was.
wait until Morgan has the gem and is like looking at it, and everyone's sort of focused on that, and then I'm gonna take a little look at the base of the pedestal.
Yeah, the Morgan, the gem is extremely like entrancing. When you pick it up and hold it up to the light, whatever light there is here, which is I guess
Ooh.
whatever light you brought with you. Remember, the entire cavern glows green from the slime pool, but inside there would be very limited light unless one of you is lit like a torch or something, which I'm assuming you have. So you, when the light flickers through it, it's like incredibly enthralling, and you sort of start like being like, ooh.
Shiny.
I'm also tripping out on this thing, being like, whoa.
So while they're all tripping out on this thing, Copernicus, there is one of the few legible fragments of a book that hasn't had the inks washed away or burnt to char by lightning and storm winds. And it is a fragment of poetry, it looks like.
Okay.
It
Not from the
has
evil book.
no. It looks like a completely different type of parchment.
Cool.
In fact, it looks like just regular, like not very old paper. It looks like something that may have been written recently, but it has been written in a metallic ink that has not run. Whereas, like most of the other pages, you can see having been saturated with storm waters are not very legible. And it has a title that simply says Elenath. And underneath there is a stanza written in Elvish.
I don't know if I can read Elvish. I'll put this out on top of the pedestal for everyone to see.
You cannot read Elvish, although you can if you do a ritual because you have comprehend languages.
Anyone read Elvish? Slap it down on the thing. No. All right. I will start a comprehend languages ritual, and if anyone has Elvish gets to this before me, then.
Morgan can read Elvish, but Morgan might be a little preoccupied with the gem. Although you can make a saving throw to kind of turn away from it. It's up to you.
If you say it's an Elvish, I'll be like, oh yeah, I know I can read Elvish. I have to make a saving throw.
Yeah, but it's like DC 12 wisdom.
I hit 12.
You're good.
On the dice.
So you sort of like tear yourself away from staring at this gem, and you're like, huh? Yeah, Elvish? Yeah, I can read Elvish. It is a very ancient form of Elvish, and it's a little hard to interpret exactly. It's definitely like old. It's like reading oldie-timey English if you happen to read English.
Ye oldie Elvish.
Yeah. And it says something along the lines of, there was one who said unto me, like there was a person, that the universe would cause my body to tremble, that mine is a spirit not like unto the keenest of blades. And that's all it says.
Sorry, is this is the poet of the poet of the Smashed Mouth? The bard of the Smashed Mouth?
There's no name of poet or anything like that. There's just this stanza.
Okay.
There is a fragment of a note on the other side of the page as well, written in the same ink, in the same hand.
Okay.
That is not written in Elvish. It is written in Common.
Just says somebody.
May it be as well that we were walking upon the surface of thine son.
No, in fact, it says magic ritual ? Undoing of his power. Maybe good contingency. Need rest of verses.
That sounds good.
Can I reverse engineer them through my knowledge of Smash Mouth and my memory of all the
No,
lyrics
you
of
may
that
not.
song, or no? Okay.
Because your character does not have that knowledge. I will, however, take a history check.
Ooh.
Yeah, all right.
It's your thing.
It's my thing.
I'll guidance you.
Oh, thank you very much. I need that very badly.
Don't
Add a
we see
D4.
the elves for some reason?
So the 3 on the die plus 3 on the d4 makes 6, plus I think I plus 10.
I think.
Yeah.
16. That's pretty good. Yeah, you definitely recognize the dialect of Elven as being ancient Elvish. Basically, the version of Elvish that was like closest to Sylvan. And you also know that you also know what the title means. El is the Elvish for star. Elen is a plural, and Elinath is in the context of all-encompassing. So, like, if you were to say the stars, you wouldn't just mean some stars. You would say Elinath, which basically translates to the stars.
Gotcha.
All stars.
To the stars.
Yeah.
Right? Or
Hey now.
all stars. Correct.
Hey now. Great.
Good.
Morgan is gonna try something that she doesn't really have the opportunity to do because she has servants. Yeah, grab a bunch of books that are broken and the various pages into a little pile. I'm just gonna cast mending on it.
See if you
And
can
see
fix
if-
some books.
Basically, she's gonna try and shuffle
Yep.
magically to try and repair as many of the books as she can. Yeah.
Okay, I am going to fast forward here. If everybody is happy with this state of affairs, is there anything else anyone wants to talk about or do at this point? You can get a long rest.
The
I
only
was
thing I
just
want to do
wondering-
is... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Is it possible to take an actual rest so I can make my daughter her dinner?
Well,
Yeah,
we're
it's
going to take a
fine.
break right away.
Yeah.
I'm just narrating up to break time. So, in just a second. We would get okay. In that case, you guys get a long rest in. Morgan, you repair some books at random, and we'll see what you get out of that afterwards. But from here, completing your rest and taking this gem and otherwise looking around and finding nothing of particular use or interest, you can head back out using the flying abilities that got you here. You can fly your way across the lake. There is no slime chul anymore. It has been handily death rayed and disintegrated into submission. And with Fetid's spectacular dungeoneering, you quickly find your way back to the surface, where you can finally go and seek some healing and professional help. So we'll cut and fade to black and resume at the Temple of Lolth. It has now been enough days that the high priest high priestess that you've been awaiting is present. And so we'll resume with the scene, chatting with the high priestess of Lolth, having had her cast greater restoration on Tromlin to return him to his no longer stone form, and upon Fetid to allow him to regrow his lost hand. And with that, I will announce that you guys have gained enough bits and pieces that we're going to call everybody actually 8th level now. So we're all going to have the hit points increase, and we'll deal with that stuff. But for now, let's take a break.
Cool. We'll see y'all in a few.
See you in a few.
We'll pick it up in, 10?
10, 15? Yeah, somewhere in there.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Sounds good.
And here we go.